protein. New research shows that those steaks, burgers, the bacon could be the secret culprit behind your biggest health issue, meat belly dilemma.
When you eat this kind of diet, bad bacteria can overpopulate.
Plus, shocking information that you never knew about seafood.
90% of our seafood is imported, and the FDA only takes a look at 3% or less.
Coming up next.
Y'all ready for season 10? Yeah! I love you, Dr. Oz. Keto, Whole30. No matter which diet tribe you belong to, one thing is clear. We live in a new low-carb culture that has everyone thinking meat. But new research shows that those steaks, burgers, and the bacon may be changing our gut and could be the secret culprit behind your biggest health issues, including what you dread most, constipation. So today, we're asking, could a protein-packed diet lead to a meat belly dilemma? My go-to tester Renata is here with a group of meat lovers right now who have concerns. So Renata, who'd you bring with you? What are the concerns?
So these ladies are some hardcore meat lovers, okay? They pack on the protein. They are in the meat, more meat, right? But they do have some concerns, okay? So, I mean, this is who these ladies are, some meat lovers. Don't look at me like that.
You go first, Zayna.
Don't look at me like that.
Carol, I know you all have complaints.
Well, I pretty much eat meat for every meal, so I think if I probably do have meat belly, so just worried about how I can
fix things. Yeah. Carol, what's bothering you? If I said you look good, but maybe you don't feel so good, what's bothering your belly?
I feel that since the low-carb diet that I've been on, I eat a lot of protein and meat, but I also feel that I'm stopped up, and I just need, I need a movement. Or join the movement.
Well stated. You join the movement with a movement. Yes. I appreciate it very much. That's a big complaint with folks who eat meat. All right, so Susan, what are your concerns?
Well, I've been on a low-carb, high-protein diet for a really long time, and I've done really well with it. But I just want to know what meat belly is. What's the dilemma?
All right, so this caught my attention, and there's actually a lot to say about it. So I brought in a guru that I trust a lot in this. He's also my big expert on gut, Dr. Butch Rosser. So, Butch, you just heard. How are you? So, Carol stopped up. Renata avoided the issue completely because I know there's probably things that she's worried about. Zayna's got her, concerns about the pendulum swinging too far. So there was a study recently which actually prompted me to do this show, which looked at the effect of meat on the bacteria in our gut.
Yeah, a study from Harvard, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, his alma mater. But it's from Harvard. I'll give my hand. The Yaleys have to give you a prompt, right?
That's where he went. That's where he went.
All right. Now, so here's the deal with this. We had prominent universities, Harvard and the University of California, that took two groups, and they had equal number of males and females, but they did something different. They fed them over 5 days a plant-based diet, and one group a meat-based diet. And the meat-based diet was beef, pork, egg yolks, and other fatty foods. And guess what happened? In 5 days of that diet change, the people in the meat-based group, their gut bacteria composition and populations changed. And as you know, we want to keep a healthy gut balance in our GI tract for good health.
Actually, we have a little animation here. Show this to everybody, because I want you all to appreciate how gut bacteria affects your health, especially when it's the meat that's changing it. So baseline, these are all the little bacteria.
Exactly. And we want a diverse population. It's all about a balance of power between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. But when you eat this kind of diet, oh, the little nasty bad bacteria can really overpopulate. And these are nasty little critters. And let's just say, how nasty are they? You would not invite them to Thanksgiving dinner if you had a bunch of these yahoos.
But they come along uninvited.
Exactly.
And what do they release?
And the big thing is that they release something called TMAO. Now, nobody should try to remember this. I remember it by saying Tameo. Okay, that's how I remember it. But the big thing that you must remember about this dangerous agent is that it can cause chronic autoimmune diseases. And that's the bottom line.
All right, so Dr. Rosser has some foods that can lower the inflammation that could be caused by meat so you can avoid the meat belly dilemma. So what do you want us to add to our diets?
Let's go to the first one, Dr. Oz. Pistachios. Of all things, pistachios. Why? Because they can decrease TMA or Tameo. But sometimes, you know, Dr. Oz, you have to trick yourself. Let me go ahead and show people how I can actually trick myself into getting those nutrients.
If you don't mind, at dawn this morning, I got this alarming picture. Put it up there, please, if you don't mind, Scott. That's what I got. This is Dr. Rosser getting up in the morning. I don't think he was showing off either. That's what he was having for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. But look at what we do with salmon. You can grind up the pistachios and make a crusting agent, and then put a little cayenne pepper. You know, I'm a Southerner, so, I'm going to go Nolans on you, and wrap that up into something that is absolutely delicious.
Yeah. It looks fantastic, and it is.
Oh, it is. And let's go to the next one. Now, this one, Brussels sprouts, of all things. The only use I had for Brussels sprouts, Dr. Oz, was in the 5th grade, hitting the boy upside the head that took my girlfriend. Yeah, I'm still injured by that. But my wife recently taught me how you roast these. You roast it, and you can even have bacon. Yeah, guys, that's right. We're not declaring a war on meat at all, okay? But you can't go berserk with meat, and especially just give a little bacon here and then roast it, and you got yourself a good meal. And the last but not least, I got to have something sweet. Do you know that grapes and berries actually have a special ingredient that helps to decrease TMAO or Tameo? Now, what I do, Dr. Oz, you can have them frozen, but I have to put a little low-carb whipped cream, if there is such a thing, on top, all right?
So, Renata, he's speaking your language for you. What do you guys in the team think over there?
You know he's speaking my language, Dr. Oz, okay? First of all, mind blown, okay? My mind is blown. And, I mean, yes, the frozen grapes. Because I do have a sweet tooth. You know me, okay?
That's right.
I do have a sweet tooth. And using the pistachios as crust for salmon, we got to trick ourselves.
Yeah.
I love my fried stuff, so I got to trick myself into making it a healthier option.
Renata, we call that stealthy, healthy eating.
Come
you
on
got to trick yourself to do the right thing.
Come on over. There's one other dilemma that got brought up earlier, which is constipation. The need to move. It's not always being satisfied. First of all, why do so many folks who are big meat eaters have issues with that?
Well, and this is one of the most frequent complaints I have with patients, that they have a difficult time going. And the big thing is that the meat has a high fatty content. And here's the process. And this is going from the rooter to the tutor, as we say down south, for all you folk who are familiar, all right?
The rooter to the tutor.
The rooter to the tutor. You eat this heavy fatty food. That slows down your transit time, how long it takes to go through the intestine. That allows more absorption of water. That makes your bowel movement what? Hard. That gives you constipation, and Houston, we have a problem when that happens. So that's what it's all about. So, once again, we don't have a war on meat. Let's look at these 3 items here. And this is a way to find out, help you in the decision making. Here, when you look at this steak over here that I'm pointing to now, notice, Dr. Oz, there's not a lot of white streaking there.
No.
Okay, that's low fat content, all right? Now come over and look at this T-bone.
Maybe it looks good.
Lord help us. And this is the one we really like, right? And so the big thing here is follow this Rosser's rule. If you got to have one, you got to give me 4 days of the good meats. If you got to have one, you got to give me 4.
Which always a pleasure, my friend.
Oh,
God bless you.
All right, God.
Up next, a meat industry insider is sounding the alarm on an FDA loophole that's allowing antibiotics to still sneak into your meat. Now, are these antibiotics also messing with your gut? We're going to find out when we return.